So for anyone that has never seen it or doesn't know very much about the indoor football league, like how different are the rules compared to like college football or the NFL?
So when it comes to defensive and offensive rules, I'm not going to be the best resource.
Okay.
But when it comes to special teams rules, I have a couple rules on kickoffs.
Okay.
So on kickoffs, if I kick the ball through the uprights on a kickoff, it's called a deuce. And our team receives 2 points, and the ball starts on the opposing 5 yard line.
Okay.
Now, it's a high risk, high reward type of play because if I miss the deuce, we get no points, and the ball starts on the 25-yard line, which is a half because the field is 50-yard long
Yeah.
and then the end zones are 10. So it's a high risk, high reward play. And then I also have an opportunity to score a point on a kickoff. The squib kick is a very frequent technique used in the indoor football league because the field is so small, so that if you can make the ball hard to recover or if you can make the returner muff it, your team is much more likely to get a tackle inside the 5, the 10, the 15,
Yeah.
and get great good field position. However, if I squib kick it and we tackle them inside the end zone, we receive a point, and it's called a rouge.
Okay.
So those are the two kickoff rules. Field goals are pretty much the same, except there's a drop kick in this league.
Oh,
And it's not something that's super common. I only saw one kicker in the league do it consistently, and but you can drop kick extra points and they'll be worth 2,
okay.
and you can drop kick field goals and they'll be worth 4.
Okay.
I didn't attempt any. I have 0 experience with that, but it is kind of a cool, fun, quirky rule in the IFL.
Are you going to start practicing that a little bit? Or are you going to kind of stick to your bread and butter a little bit and not really truly worry about it if you do go back to the IFL?
If I go back to the IFL this season, it's something I would probably fool around with at practice when I'm not doing anything or when I have some free time, of course, why not?
Yeah.
Just 'cause, if I'm able to make my way out of the IFL, I think I wouldn't need it, you know?
Yeah. No, exactly. That makes perfect sense. It's just interesting, just the way that like that process, just how different it is. Is that like a decision that you make, or is that like your special teams coach saying, "Hey, we want to do this," or is it more of like they trust you to make the right decision, and if you're going to make that decision, that you're going to execute it?
Right. So for the majority, they would give me the decision.
Okay.
Sometimes depending on like the points or the score of the game, like a deuce or a rouge could make it a 2 possession, or it could make it like a 9 point game. So they
Okay.
would need a touchdown and a drop kick to tie us type of situation. So depending on the score, it makes sense to go for those points on kickoff. But majority of the time they would tell me if we're gonna do the deuce or not, or if we're gonna do the squib, or if it's gonna be some type of onside or some type of thing. But for the most part, I get to pick the direction, and I'm just trying to if I'm squibbing it, I'm just trying to find the open space
Yeah.
because I'm trying to make the ball as hard as possible for the returner to catch on his first try. I want him to muff it, I want him to drop it, I want him to bobble it because then my team's gonna be right on top of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if it's a deuce, there's not much direction besides, kick it through the yellow poles. So
Which is the goal, right? Like you don't
right,
want to miss.
yeah, that's the goal. Kick the leather ball through the yellow poles.
Exactly. I'm sure that they're pretty visible. I'm sure. I don't want to say it's easy because there's no way it's easy because that's the reason why there's the rules there. But I'm sure there's probably like, well, there's the yellow poles right there. Let's try to kick it in the middle of those.
Yeah, that's kinda how it goes. The kickoff for a deuce, depending on what stadium you're in, is either a 58-yard or a 60-yard kick.
Is it
Because
really?
some stadiums so the field's 50 yards long.
Yeah.
And then some stadiums have an end zone of 8 yards, and some stadiums have an end zone of 10. So
Okay.
depending on what stadium you're in, the field goal is obviously at the back of the end zone. So you're on the front of the kickoff line. It's a 58-yard kick or it's a 60-yard kick. And the tricky thing that I learned with the indoor league is obviously you're inside.
Yeah.
So the height that you are allowed on your kicks is a very tricky game that you have to play with. Ball flight is very tricky in the indoor league because a lot of these stadiums will have jumbotrons right in the middle of the stadium. So sometimes when you're going for that deuce or when you're trying to make it on the kickoff, you kind of have to like hook it or put it like
Interesting.
a draw or a fade on the ball in order to wrap it around the jumbotron because the jumbo will sit dead middle of the stadium and it will hang low enough to be problematic for the kickers. Excuse me.
So if you hit the jumbotron, is it just a live ball? Like what
It's
happens?
a OB,
OB.
and then it will just go on the 25-yard line.
Okay.
It'd be considered a missed kick.
Interesting. I've maybe watched indoor football once. I don't know if I've ever truly watched it. So I'm kind of
Right.
learning along with you on this. I know obviously there's different rules, but there's just so much going on. It's truly seems like
It's
an interesting and fun watch though.
Yeah, it's a different sport. It's a different sport. It's a really fast pace. It's really, really fast paced. Like you score a lot of touchdowns, you kick a lot of extra points, you kick a lot of kickoffs, but the ball's always flipping sides. Because within a 2 to 3 minute drive, you can be all the way down the field. It
Yeah,
doesn't take 4, 5, 6 minutes. It takes a minute or a minute and a half or 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and someone's putting points on the board
yeah,
one way or another. So the games naturally are higher scoring. Um, but yeah, kicking in the indoor league has been a lot of fun. Another like just eye-opening experience into like a whole new sport, a whole new experience. But at the end of the day, these guys just want to compete.
yeah,
And that's the common ground that you can find between all these. That's what I've noticed, like coming from two different sports, two different locker rooms, two different coaching staffs, multiple colleges. At the end of the day, guys are guys, and cool guys just want to compete. So everybody's gonna be friends. You're gonna make friends with your teammates pretty easily because at the end of the day, you just want to go out and beat the other team. So,
yeah. I,
so
I was just gonna say everyone in your locker room, no one likes to lose. Like no
right,
one wants to lose. Like I'm sure you are probably someone that doesn't like to lose in anything
no,
whatsoever. Like it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
that competitive drive of
right.
everyone.
It could be the family board game. I gotta win.
Yeah, probably depending on the family board game. Hopefully, it's not one that's so passionate that maybe a table gets flipped. But love that passion.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you talked about obviously like the competitive side of things, and we've talked a little bit about the passion. There has to be nothing better than playing in front of your own home fans in Las Vegas.
yeah. We play at Lee's Family Forum, and Vegas Nighthawks fans are Man, they're awesome. They're so cool. They're great people, always happy to see you. Always I I love them. I love them, and I don't say that lightly. I think that they I've really been welcomed in, and I really appreciate that. I've had a lot of fans reach out. I had a fan send me fan mail.
Oh,
They
that's
sent me
awesome.
they won a ball. They won a game ball that got signed by the whole team, and they
Okay.
sent it to me.
Oh, that's
And they
awesome.
with a letter like, "Oh my gosh, you're one of the best kickers we've ever had," all this. So, I felt really welcomed at the Vegas, program, organization. The coaching staff there is amazing. They're super welcoming, first professional season, rookie kicker. So they were super cool. The team was awesome. The captain's there, the leadership there. It's all structured and done the right way. So I was super beneficial to walk into a situation like that, get welcomed in as a rookie, as a one of the youngest guys on the team, and
Yeah.
being the keeper. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Love to hear that. And also, you got to play in Las Vegas as well. Is it as cool as it seems to be able to say, "Hey, I played professional in Las Vegas," or is it a little bit more of like, you know what, it's cool for a little bit, but then it's like it kind of gets a little bit boring.
I wouldn't use the word boring.
Okay.
But it's definitely that first month, it was super cool,
Yeah.
but it fades, you
Okay.
fades, you know? The fans at Lee's keep it electric every weekend, so but the city itself will fade, like, I'm not the first month, I was like, "Oh my gosh," it was my first time in Vegas, I was like, "I just wanna go to the Strip, I wanna see the Sphere,
Yeah.
I wanna just, like, look almost as a tourist," right?
Exactly.
Because I had never been, and, but then it fades. I learned of
Okay.
some of the more local spots with the better food and the better prices.
Yeah.
You know, you learn you learn a little bit more when you're there for multiple months. But living in Vegas was a lot of fun. The one thing about Vegas is there was always something to do.
Yeah.
There's always something. Someone's performing, something's going on somewhere. But I would say that wasn't nearly the priority for this team, and I'm really grateful for that
Yeah.
because this team was very centralized and very focused on what they wanted to do. This team lost in the first round of playoffs at home last season.
Okay.
So this was kind of a revenge tour for them, for some of the returners that I got to help out with and be a part of. So it was all hands on deck. Everybody on the team was needed, and I thought that for the team chemistry and the team as like a collective unit worked really well throughout the season to stay healthy, to stay productive, and to stay like on top of film, on top of training, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, and then obviously at the end of it, after winning the national championship, then you got to enjoy things a little bit more and kind of go to do your celebrations. Got
Right,
your
right.
hat, got hopefully a ring coming, maybe like a trophies.
Yeah,
You got a
absolutely.
big trophy. I know you have a picture of that, but you got probably hopefully a couple things coming your way because of that.
Yeah, we got to keep our jerseys.
Did you really?
Yeah, we got
Love
to keep
that.
our jerseys, so I got my jersey, so I can give that to my mom, she can get that
Oh, that's
framed.
awesome.
So, yeah, yeah, that first week coming back after winning like, taking the trophy back to Vegas, it was red carpet treatment. We ate for free, we went to all the hotels, got wined and dined. I didn't have to do any talking, I'm the kicker.
Yeah.
The
You're
like, I
like, "Let me just enj I will sit in
Yeah,
the back, enjoy this, and let the MVP
yeah.
quarterback take care of all the talking."
Right, that's the guys who did the talking was like the quarterback, our best receiver, and our best running back. And then the rest of us just hang out, eat good food,
Oh, yeah.
free drinks and sign some autographs. It was a really great time and lots of press conferences, lots of pictures. We had to take the trophy everywhere. But it was a different way for me to see the city because it was a lot of the city that I hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
And I got to meet a lot of influential people in the city because like our coach says, everybody likes a winner.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
so it helped.
yeah, everyone likes a team that wins. It's about connections, it's about the people that you meet, it's about the time that you had, and obviously, this past year, you had a great time in Las Vegas,